The rain-slicked highway blurred into a gray ribbon under my tires as I crossed the county line, the welcome sign to Willow Creek mocking me with its faded paint. Home of Heartland heroes. I'd sworn I'd never come back, not after the whispers and stares that chased me out at 18, but Hollywood had chewed me up and spit me out rawer than any small-town rumor. And there, leaning against his cruiser under the overpass like he'd been waiting for my surrender, was Sheriff Jordan Hale. Broader, harder-edged than the boy who'd once pinned me against the lockers and sneered, "Freak," before the whole school laughed. I slammed on the brakes, heart hammering like it did that night. But this time the fury twisted with something sharper, something that clawed at my chest and wouldn't let go. He straightened, those green eyes locking on mine through the windshield, and for a split second, I wondered if he'd arrest me on sight or just finish what high school started. Instead, he tipped his hat, slow and deliberate, like he knew exactly how it would unravel me. Pulling into the driveway of my childhood home felt like stepping into a ghost's skin. Porch light flickering, just like Mom left it before the cancer took her 2 years back, the swing creaking in the wind like it was mourning her absence. Dad had sold the place cheap after the funeral, some out-of-towner flipping it into a rental, but he'd kept the key hidden under the mat for just in case. That case was now me, Alex Rivera, former rising star of indie films, crashing back at 28 with a duffel bag, a maxed-out credit card, and a betrayal scar that still bled fresh. Ethan, my agent, my lover, the golden boy of LA's queer scene, hadn't just stolen my script, he'd sold it to the highest bidder, twisting our 5-year story into a straight-washed rom-com that premiered last month without my name anywhere but the fine print. The reviews called it refreshingly authentic. I called it theft, and the lawsuit I'd filed evaporated when his lawyers unearthed my instability, code for the panic attacks that started after Mom died. The house smelled of dust and lemon polish, the kind Mrs. Hargrove next door still used. I dropped my bag in the hall, the floorboards groaning under me, and headed straight for the kitchen, yanking open the fridge like it held answers. Empty, save for a 6-pack of Dad's old Budweiser. I cracked one, the foam spilling over my knuckles, and sank onto the stool, staring at the calendar on the wall stuck at June 2023. Mom's handwriting looped through reminders: dentist for Alex, soccer for Jamie. Jamie, my little brother, the golden child who'd stayed, married his high school sweetheart, popped out 2 kids, and become the hardware store manager everyone loved. He'd texted me last week. Heard about the movie. You okay? I hadn't replied. What was there to say? That the brother who'd once defended me from Jordan's taunts now lived in the same echo chamber of judgments I'd fled? A knock shattered the quiet, sharp, authoritative. My pulse spiked. Through the lace curtains, I saw the cruiser parked curbside, lights off but presence screaming. Jordan. Of course. Small towns didn't let you slink in unnoticed. I wiped my hands on my jeans, squared my shoulders, and opened the door. He stood there, hat in hand, rain dripping from the brim onto the welcome mat that read, "Bless this mess," Mom's joke. Up close, the years had carved him into something formidable, jaw like chiseled oak, shoulders filling out the khaki uniform in a way that screamed authority. But those eyes, still that piercing green, flecked with gold, held no sneer now, just a wary curiosity. "Alex Rivera," he said, voice low and rough like gravel under boots. "Heard you were back. Welcome home." No freak, no judgment, but the words hung heavy, laced with the history we both carried. I crossed my arms, leaning against the frame to hide the tremor in my hands. "Sheriff Hale, come to run me out again? Or just checking if I've still got cooties?" His mouth twitched, not quite a smile, more like a flinch. "Times change. People too. Your dad called from Florida, said you'd be rolling in tonight. Figured you'd need directions or something." He held out a paper bag, stapled shut at the top. "Groceries. Hargroves send their regards." I took it, our fingers brushing, electric, unwelcome. Inside, milk, eggs, bread, a wedge of cheddar. Basics. The kind of gesture Mom would have made. "Thanks," I muttered, hating how small it made me feel. "You didn't have to. Part of the job." He shifted, glancing past me into the dim hall. "House treating you all right? Lights work? Water? It's fine." Lie. The bulb in the living room had buzzed out years ago, and the pipes groaned like they were alive. but admitting weakness to him? No way. Look, Jordan. Sheriff, he corrected, gentle but firm, like drawing a line. Sheriff, I echoed, the title bitter on my tongue. I get it. You're doing your duty. But I'm not here to stir up trouble. Just sorting some things out. He nodded, replacing his hat with a slow slide that shadowed his face. Good. Town's changed, but not that much. Folks talk. Best you keep your head down. A beat, then softer. If you need anything, really, my office is on Main. Doors open. He turned, boots splashing through puddles toward his cruiser. I watched him go, the taillights fading into the night, and slammed the door harder than I meant to. Need anything? From him? The guy who'd led the pack laughing when Tommy Ellis shoved me into the mud after prom, calling me, that fag Rivera, loud enough for the whole parking lot to hear. Jordan hadn't thrown the punch, but he'd stood there, arms crossed, enforcing the silence that hurt worse. I'd left Willow Creek that summer, hitching to LA with $50 and a dream, vowing never to look back. Now here I was, broken and brooding, with his groceries rotting my fridge and his eyes haunting my thoughts. Sleep didn't come easy. The bed in my old room sagged under me, posters of old movie stars curling at the edges, Brando, Dean, icons who'd hidden their truths like I once tried to. By dawn, I was up, nursing coffee black as my mood, when my phone buzzed. Jamie, breakfast at the diner? 9 a.m. Bring your appetite and stories. No escaping family. I showered quick, the water scalding, and drove the 5 blocks to Millie's, the neon sign buzzing like a hive. The place hadn't changed. Checkered floors, vinyl booths scarred by decades of forks, the air thick with bacon and regret. Jamie waved from a corner table, his wife Lisa beside him, cooing over a high-chair-bound toddler while their older boy, 5 and freckled, colored furiously on a placemat. Uncle Alex, the kid yelled, launching himself at my legs. I scooped him up, the weight grounding me, and slid into the booth. Look at you, Jamie said, grinning that easy smile that skipped our jeans. Hollywood's rubbing off, fancy jeans. He was all flannel and calluses now, the brother who'd once shared secrets under the covers now a pillar of normalcy. Lisa leaned over, kissing my cheek. Ignore him. You look tired, hon. Rough flight. Rough everything, I admitted, ordering eggs over easy. As the waitress poured coffee, heads turned, subtle, but there. Willow Creek remembered. Jamie Dove and gentle. Saw the premiere news. Ethan's a prick. You fighting it? Tried. Lawyers say it's a lost cause. I shrugged, poking at my toast. Figured I'd lay low here, write something new, clear my head. He nodded, but his eyes flicked to Lisa, a silent conversation. Town's got its share of drama. Festival next month, reenactment of the Creek Battle. You should come. Get out, meet folks. Folks like who? I half joked, but the diner door chimed, and in walked Jordan, hat off, scanning the room like it was his jurisdiction. Our eyes met across the counter. He nodded once, then took a stool at the far end, ordering black coffee to go. Jamie followed my gaze, lowering his voice. Hill's all right now. Widower. Lost his wife to the highway crash 3 years back. Kids with his sister. Keeps the peace, mostly. Widower. The word landed like a stone. I'd pictured him hitched to some cheerleader type, enforcing the straight world I'd escaped. Good for him, I said neutral. Lisa chimed in, oblivious. He's been asking about you. Said to tell you the community center's got open mic nights if you're itching to perform. Perform. The word soured. Hollywood stage had been my armor. Now it was ash. Maybe. Conversation shifted to safer ground. Jamie's store expansion, Lisa's garden club, but Jordan's presence lingered, a magnet pulling at the edges of my calm. When he left, tipping Millie with a quiet word, I felt the vacuum, irrational and aching. Back home, I unpacked the duffel, scripts torn and scattered, a photo of Ethan and me at the Emmys after-party, his arm around my waist, smile all teeth. I shredded it, the confetti raining like tears, then fired up my laptop. Words wouldn't come. Instead, memories flooded. High school Jordan, quarterback king, dating the prom queen while stealing glances at me in the showers, eyes lingering too long before snapping away. Had it been hate or fear? I'd wondered once, drunk on stolen whiskey at a bonfire, but the next day he doubled down, the enforcer roll his shield. A text pinged. Unknown number. Hargrove gave me your digits. Power's out on Elm tomorrow for lines work. Generator in the shed if needed. JH. Sheriff helpful. I typed back. Got it. Thanks. Then, impulsive. Why the welcome wagon? His reply came fast. Oh, you won. That night at the creek. The creek. Senior year, after the mud shove, I'd run there to hide, sobbing into the rushes. Jordan found me, not to taunt, but to, what? Sit silent, tossing stones until I stopped shaking. Go home, Rivera, he'd said finally, voice cracked. Before they see. No one knew. Our secret armistice. I stared at the screen, fingers hovering. Ancient history. History repeats if you let it. Cheeky bastard. I didn't reply, but the seed planted, rooting deep. Days blurred into a rhythm I hated. Mornings writing nothing. Afternoons wandering Main Street, dodging stares that whispered the gay actors back. The library became sanctuary. Cool stacks, Mrs. Ellis, Tommy's mom, irony thick, nodding polite behind the desk. One afternoon, buried in a biography of Tennessee Williams, I heard boots. Research. Jordan, arms crossed, leaning against the shelf like he owned the shadows. Escape. I corrected, closing the book. Up close, he smelled of pine and leather, clean and steady. He picked up a volume on local lore, flipping pages. Town's got stories. The betrayal kind. Old mill fire. Arson cover-up. Still unsolved. Thriller material. I smirked, but his gaze held mine, probing. You always did see the plot twists. A pause, heavy. Coffee after? My treat. No badges. I should have said no. Sure. Why not? The station house cafe was a hole-in-the-wall annex, stools scarred, coffee bitter as truth. We sat by the window, rain pattering like applause for our uneasy truce. He talked shop, DUIs down, festival prep chaos. I shared scraps, LA lights, the hollow ache of sets. Ethan wasn't just a thief, I said, stirring sugar I didn't need. He was my mirror, made me believe I fit. Jordan's fingers drummed the mug. Mirrors lie. Seen it here. Folks hiding behind badges, marriages. My wife, Sarah, she knew about me. Waited too long to say it. His voice roughened. Car wreck. Gone before I fixed it. The confession hung, raw, known. About him? My throat tightened. I'm sorry. Don't be. Lesson learned. Don't wait. His eyes met mine, unflinching. You sticking around? For now. The air thickened, charged. I stood abrupt. Gotta go. Thanks for the coffee. Outside, rain soaked me, but I ran, not away, towards something unnamed. Friendships reignited like faulty wires, sparking and scorching. First was Riley, my high school confidant, now a tattoo artist with a parlor on the edge of town. She'd been the one to kiss me first, at 16, under the bleachers, a fumbling experiment that ended in giggles, and we're both queens, babe. Married now to a woman from the city, but the spark remained platonic fire. You look like shit, she said, inking a client's arm with a steady hand. Hollywood detox. Worse. Soul detox. I perched on a stool, watching her work. Town treating you kind. She snorted, wiping ink. Same old bigotry wrapped in apple pie. But I fight back. Tats for the outcasts. Her needle paused. Heard Hales sniffing around. Careful, Alex. He's got layers, but the badge is thick. Sniffing. I laughed it off, but heat crept up my neck. Rumors. You too at Millie's. Eyes like magnets. She grinned wicked. High school redux? God, no. Lie. That coffee lingered, his words echoing. Don't wait. Next came group hangs. Jamie's grill-outs in the backyard. Kids chasing fireflies while adults nursed beers. Lisa pulled me aside one night, her voice soft under the string lights. Jamie's worried. Says you're distant. Like after Mom. I'm processing, I said, flipping burgers to avoid her eyes. Betrayal's a bitch. She squeezed my arm. We're here. All of us. But as dusk fell, Jordan arrived, invited by Jamie, unannounced to me, carrying a cooler of sodas for the kids. He fit seamless, tossing a ball with my nephew, laughing deep and real. Watching him, shirt sleeves rolled over forearms veined from work, I felt the pull again, hate's ghost morphing to hunger. Later, by the fire pit, Jamie cornered us both. Remember that creek fight? You two nearly killed each other over nothing. Jordan chuckled low. Wasn't nothing. Alex called my throw like a girl. You charged like a bull. I shot back, the old banter easy-edged. Boys, Jamie teased, but his eyes sharpened. Town's watching. Festival's tomorrow. Play nice. Nice. As if. The Willow Creek Heritage Festival was a whirlwind of booths and bands, the air sweet with funnel cake and suspicion. I manned the library table, story time for kids, flyers for book drives, hoping anonymity. Riley dragged me to the tattoo tent, inking a small wave on my wrist, for the tides that turn. Jordan patrolled the edges, a shadow in khaki, but his path curved toward me twice, once with a corn dog for old times, once to chase off a drunk leering at Riley's booth. By evening, the reenactment lit the field, muskets cracking, actors in tricorns storming the creek bank. I stood with Jamie's family, the crowd pressing close, when a shout cut through. Real, not scripted. Hey, queer boy, back for more. Tommy Ellis, bulkier now, beer in hand, flanked by old cronies. The slur landed like a slap, heads turning. My fists clenched, run or fight. Before I could choose, Jordan materialized, hand on Tommy's shoulder, grip iron. Easy, Ellis. Festival's family time. Voice calm, but eyes thunder. Tommy shrugged him off, slurring. Just welcoming home the prodigal fag. Ain't that right, Sheriff? Or you sweet on him too? The crowd hushed, a collective inhale. Jordan's jaw ticked. Walk it off, Tom, or I'll walk you to a cell. Murmurs rippled, prejudices undercurrent. Tommy stumbled away, but the damage stuck, eyes on me like spotlights. I bolted, weaving through the throng to the creek's edge, the water rushing cold and indifferent. Footsteps followed. Alex. Jordan, breathless. You okay? I whirled, chest heaving. Your town. Your problem. Not my town. Ours. He stepped closer, rain starting to mist. I shut him down. That's something. Is it? The words burst. You stood by back then. Laughed. Now what? Pity patrol. He flinched, rain streaking his face. I was scared, all right. 17, captain of everything, and terrified of what I felt watching you. The admission cracked open, raw. You were brave. I wasn't. Felt. Watching. My breath caught, the world narrowing to his eyes, green as the creek. Jordan. A radio crackled, his hip. Sheriff, disturbance at the fairgrounds. Duty called. Go. I whispered, the moment fracturing. He hesitated, then nodded. This isn't over. But it was just the start. Weeks after the festival, the misunderstanding festered like an untended wound. Tommy's slur spread, twisted in retellings. I propositioned him. Jordan covered for a lover's spat. Jamie called a family meeting, kitchen table tense, Lisa mediating with pie. It's bullshit, I snapped, pacing. Tommy's always been a coward. Jamie rubbed his temples. I know, but folks listen to him. Church groups buzzing. And Hale, he's catching heat for pulling you out. Heat. For me. Guilt twisted. I'll talk to him. No. Jamie firm. Let it die. You're not out here to burn bridges. But bridges were all I had left. That night, I drove to the station, the lot empty, save his cruiser. Inside, fluorescents hummed. Jordan hunched over paperwork, tie loosened. Alex. Surprise softened his edges. Trouble. Your trouble. I dropped into the chair opposite. Tommy's mess. It's on you now. He sighed, leaning back. Part of the badge. Defended what was right. Right. Sarcasm dripped. Or just protecting your secret? His eyes narrowed. Low blow. Truth hurts. You said you felt something. Back then. What was it, curiosity? Regret now. He stood, rounding the desk, close enough to touch. More than that. Always was. His hand lifted, hovering near my jaw, then dropped. Sarah knew. Forgave the distance. But after she died, I stopped hiding. Not fully. Not yet. The air crackled, confessions heavy. I stepped in, our breaths mingling. I'm not hiding anymore. Hollywood broke that. Then don't. His voice roughened, lips brushing mine. Tentative, then fierce, years of tension igniting. The kiss was salt and storm, hands fisting shirts, the desk edge biting my hip. We broke apart gasping, foreheads pressed. Wait, he murmured. Town. My job. Always the sheriff. But I smiled small. We parted with promises, coffee dates disguised as check-ins, walks by the creek at dusk. Friendship bloomed cautious. Riley grilled him over beers, declaring approved, barely. Jamie thawed, inviting him to poker nights. But prejudices simmered, gossip at the diner, a slashed tire on my truck tagged with slurs. The real conflict brewed in shadows. One night, post-poker, Jordan walked me home, his hand brushing mine in the dark. Moving slow, he said, but worth it. Inside, my laptop glowed, new script half-formed, a story of betrayals and redemptions. Read it, I offered, vulnerable. He did, till dawn, eyes intent. This is you. Us, almost. Almost. Then the bomb, Ethan's email. Miss you. Lawsuits dropped. Your name's back in credits. Come home. Home. LA? Or here? I deleted it, but doubt seeded. Jordan sensed the shift. What's eating you? Ghosts. Partial truth. We argued first time, over my distance, his walls. You're half in, I accused. You're leaving, he fired back. Always the dreamer. Climax built. Festival anniversary. Town hall meeting on values. Tommy rallied the bigots. Petitions against undesirables. My name topped the list. Jamie stormed over. They're targeting you. Us. I went alone. To the meeting, Riley at my side. Jordan presided, gavel steady, but eyes on me, pleading stay back. Tommy rose, venomous. This town's Christian. No room for Hollywood sin. Murmurs agreed. Then Riley, sin? Like your DUI cover-up, Tom? Gasps. Jordan banged order. Evidence, Miss Tate. She slid photos. Tommy's car, wrecked, date of Sarah's crash night. He was driving drunk. Swerved into her lane. Chaos erupted. Tommy lunged. Jordan restrained him, cuffs clicking. Arrest for assault. And we'll talk manslaughter. The room fractured, truths spilling. I stood, voice steady. I'm not sin. I'm home. Love me or leave me. Eyes turned, not hate, but seeing. Jordan's gaze, pride, love. After, in the empty hall, he pulled me close. You stayed. We both did. The town healed slow, Tommy jailed, petitions burned in a bonfire Riley hosted. My script sold, to a queer director, authentic. Jordan resigned the badge? No, but came out quiet, hand in mine at the next festival. Love, messy and mended, in Willow Creek's light.